Alrighty, man. Welcome back to another episode of the Darrel Long channel, hosted by your boy Darrel Long. We got a lot of work to get into. I said I was going to try to be as consistent as possible when it came to these videos, and I'm going to try to remain consistent. All right, let me share these videos to all friends and family, to all the friends and family. That way, everybody can come and watch this live stream with us. If you guys are just now joining, if you guys are tapping in, make sure you hit the like button. We got to talk about Officer Tatum. We got to talk about the situation with Don Lemon and the young man Emmanuel. As y'all can see, listen, y'all got to forgive me. I'm not as sharp as a content creator as I used to be. I am a husband now. I am literally I'm literally working more than ever. You feel me? Working more than ever. And truthfully, my time is just, whew, I don't have no damn time. No damn time, man. And shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. We've been holding down Simp Nation. Shout out to everybody that's been donating money, everybody that's been really rocking with us. And shout out to everybody that's been leaving tags and leaving comments saying that they're replaying the videos. I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. You understand me? But I want to get directly into the video. I just got to go and get the video so I can share it real quick with everybody. We got to break this down. Um I'm at my wits end when it comes to Officer Tatum. I'm pretty much done with Officer Tatum. He is he's worse than Anton. He's the top of the top when it comes to raccoons. When it comes to raccooning, I'm convinced that nobody does it better than Officer Tatum. I'm convinced nobody does raccooning better than Officer Tatum. And what's worse about this whole situation is we actually have a dead child, a dead kid in the center of all of this. And people acting like it's a joke. Shout out to the beautiful Smell the Roses. Shout out to the beautiful Smell the Roses podcast. One of those few light skinned things that I don't mind looking at when she's on camera. She's a pretty young lady. And thank you for your 30 jewels. I appreciate you. Right. Now, let's go ahead and get to this video where we have a black man who apparently was friends with the Nolan Wells family, with the Wells family. And in the midst of their conversation about racism and, et cetera, going down in Mississippi, he said, well, us black folks are making babies with these white women. We making babies with the white woman now, so racism don't exist. That's right. He said the black man is making babies with the white woman, so racism doesn't exist anymore.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Now, I'm not going to wait any longer. All right. I'm not going to wait any longer. We're going to begin this review right now. Shout out to Smell the Roses. She says, thank you for supporting me in the channel. You are more than welcome. Anything that you need help or any way I can be of any service, please let me know, my lady. It is my belief that every black man was put here to serve the black woman. Now, if I have to make them do it, then it is what it is. I have a certain way of getting things done. But right now, what I'm going to do is defend Nolan Wells' mother. That's what Nolan Wells want. He would want somebody to defend his mother and his family while they're being attacked by people that they called friends. Let's go to Don Lemon for the report, please.
We're going to do.
What this gentleman right here, his name is Emmanuel Cuttonwith. Now, I don't know if you've seen some of his videos. He's here with us live. This is one of his videos. Check it out, and then a word from our sponsors.
See, here's a lot of things that the people in the back of the room don't know. Yes, us locals, we are privy to a lot of things because we know these people. I gave Nolan his first haircut. I know his parents. Been knowing them for years. Been knowing his mom since she was like in high school. I'm real good friends with her family. So here's the deal. When that video came out, and you hear them people on there talking that lady dug up and went and researched and brought up the sounds. The truth is this: if that video is legit, it's a few people in trouble. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Now, see, this is the stuff that you got to wait for. This type of evidence, right? Now, I'm going to help you out here. All right? I hear Bart and them parents are suing. Bart's name was mentioned on the video. Okay? Well, I asked one of his friends, who was a black guy, about Bart a few days ago. And they said that Bart was cleared already. And according to the black people, they cleared Bart. I don't even know if the police cleared Bart. But it sounds like the black people that's involved cleared Bart. They said Bart ain't had nothing to do with it. But Bart's name is all over that tape. But if these black guys are telling the truth, then guess what? You see why his daddy's suing. And that's what I'm saying, people. You can't just be so quick to just do this type stuff, man. This stuff take time, bro. Investigation. I'm going to tell you something, man. By the time it's all said and done, half of Ocean Springs might be going to prison. Or half of Ocean Springs might be going on a vacation. You don't know yet. So just chill. And like I said, I know these people. I know their family. All right? We all been knowing each other. So ain't nobody on here taking up for nobody. I'm not looking out. I'm not looking out for nobody on here. I'm only speaking what I think is best to be spoken to keep the peace until the facts come out.
You know what every entrepreneur tells themselves? Oh, I'll just do it myself.
So let me speak on what bro just said, right? While I was editing that little thumbnail for you guys, let me speak on what bro just said. This whole situation is about racism. No matter if you want to look at it any other lens, that's just, this whole situation is about racism. Now, I'm not going to go into the name calling, right? Don Lemon already went into the name calling at about 43 minutes into this live stream. He tells this man that he's into the sunken place. The clip exists. The clip is circulating. I don't need to repeat that moment, right? Because calling him a coon or telling him that he's in a sunken place doesn't add anything to my argument, right? I don't need to inherit Don Lemon's worst moment from the video, because that's how they're going to try to spin this, that Don Lemon is a bigot, right? Because once you start to move with ad hominems, now you lose that exchange. That's the way it works. So I'm going to show you guys that, right? That we don't need to attack the person. We can just attack the message, right? Me calling this man a racist isn't me attacking him. That's my point, right? Shout out to the beautiful smell of the roses. She says that was cool, but what he said on Don's show was crazy. Yeah, we got to watch it. We're going to watch it now, because he's making it seem like, well, if you have babies with a white woman, or if a white woman have babies with a black man, that now racism is over. And only someone who is not intelligent will say something like that, right? And if anybody want to chat, because I know a lot of y'all ghost watch, but if y'all want to come up, feel free. We're not even talking about nobody in the space. No Antons, no Jeff James, no Fatty, no Sharon Brace, none of that. My number one target right now is Officer Tatum. And if you roll with Officer Tatum, if that's your man's, then you on the list right behind. You're going to get wet up with that nigga. Now, let's go back to the video.
Thank you to our sponsors. They keep us powered. I get excited when I do in the morning. I go in the backyard and I do the ads in the morning because I'm excited about it. I'm trying to get some energy to get my day going. Okay, so look, I wish I'd met this next gentleman under better circumstances because I'm happy to meet him, but I understand the times that we're in and the circumstances in which we're speaking. And that was a gentleman that you were seeing before we went to our sponsored break. His name is Emmanuel Cuttenwith. And he has been doing videos on this on
his name is not Emmanuel Cuttenwith. I'm not gonna dox his last name. I have his last name. Cuttenwith E is his actual YouTube name. But that's not his name. Cuttenwith E is his YouTube name. His name is Emmanuel. I'm not gonna put his last name out there. At least not on YouTube. I am gonna put his last name and dox all his information on my Discord. Y'all go tap in for that.
Social media, but also I should say he knows the people involved. He says he's known them for years and that he gave Nolan his first haircut. He knows the family. So Mr. Cuttenwith, welcome. Thank you for joining the Don Lemon Show this morning. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey, I'm glad to be here with you. Just to clarify something.
Now, Don Lemon, you should have did some type of background into this man, right? Because this man is a walking raccoon. This man is a walking tap dancer. All right. I don't condone anybody shaming people because of race, right? I don't condone people shaming people because they want to get with someone of the opposite race. I don't care about that. If you're a white man and you are treating a black woman the right way and she's happy and she has a family with you, listen, go live your best lives. God is good. If you a black man, you meet you a little white woman and she treating you right, go marry her, do right by her. I'm not about to tell y'all who y'all can and cannot be with. But what I will not allow y'all to do is to go into these interracial relationships, and because you're fucking someone who's of the other race, you believe that racism doesn't exist anymore, all because your back getting blown the fuck out by a white man, or some white woman is eating your gooch and throwing your legs up in the air. That doesn't end racism, sirs and ladies. I'm sorry. I don't care about who you date. I don't care what the fuck you date. As long as it's not a child, then we good to go. Let's go.
Cuttenwith, that's my social media name, Cuttenwith E. So you could, my first name is Emmanuel, but that's my social media, Cuttenwith E on YouTube and IG and Facebook and all of that. But yeah, but I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
So talk to me about, thank you for clarifying that, but we want to make sure that you get people know who you are, that they are on your social media and they watch because you have some good stuff. And also if they're there, that they, give you some business. I think that's fair in this, especially in this environment that we're in. So talk to me, Emmanuel, how do you know Nolan? Let's start with how you know Nolan Wells and his family.
Okay. Well, I've been knowing his mom since she was like in high school and whatnot. But I came, and his stepfather, we still work out in the same gym together right now. And I came to know Nolan through his, she had this lady babysitting him, and I'm real good friends with her son, Bingo. And they would bring him around, bring him to my barbershop all the time. And I gave him his first haircut. And we used to have him to say, every time he would leave, we would say, "What's your name?" And he
quiet. First of all, the man that gave me my first haircut don't know me. I gave Nolan his first haircut. What the fuck that mean? That don't mean nothing. How many times in the last 5 years have you and Nolan text? How many birthday parties have you shown up to? How many times were you at any of his graduations from 8th grade, et cetera, et cetera? Where were you as far as his life? A lot of people are clout chasing off a dead black boy's body, and this is the most disgusting thing I've seen in a few years. Side note, Smell the Roses says in art school, huh? I can tell by your your love for Game of Thrones. I actually I have all the Game of Thrones books. Yes, everybody know. For those who don't know, me, Darrel Long, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. I went to Osborne High School, located in what Detroit called the Red Zone. It's the zone of Detroit where all the bloods are, right? All the bloods and all little red, little do-rags and the red guns and all that stuff. So I grew up over there and I got into a lot of fights, right? I had to survive. And after a while, I thrived. And because of that, Detroit Public Schools kicked me out of Detroit Public Schools. They kicked me out. They said, well, Mrs. Long, they went to my mom and said, well, Mrs. Long, your son's been to fights. He's bringing weapons to school. He's bringing narcotics to school. So they kicked me out. One of the only schools that I was going to accept was an art school called Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences. You can go look it up right now. They have been like all over the internet with, I think that the choir was at the Super Bowl and they was doing some competition with Terry Crews. It's like, it was a singing competition. I can't think of the name. I think it's America's Got Talent, something like that. But they was on there singing. Anyway, I went to that school. And at that school, I learned about stuff like Game of Thrones, which is based on the War of Roses. I learned a lot about history, art, math, science. I was on I did debate school. I did male cheerleading. I did so much, right? I was on a dance program. I did so much. Anyway, good morning, OG Patrice. How you doing? Beautiful. Said the gays love the arts and I love the gays. Shout out to my gay friends. Shout out to Fearless, Guru, all my gay friends. Let's go.
He would say Nolan Wells, and we all used to laugh at it. We used to make him say his name every single time, man. He was a funny little kid, man. That was what was up, though. But yeah, that's how I came to first know him,
Yeah. And over the years, you watched him grow up?
Yeah, I watched him grow. I didn't see him for a period of time, and then he became a football player, and I used to go to.
So you first saw Nolan Wells when you first gave him his first haircut, and throughout a period of time you didn't see him. The next time you saw him, he was playing football. Boy, you don't know this, man. Play the Donald Trump. Play Donald Trump right now.
Shut up, silly woman.
No. Hit him with the Candy Burris instead.
The lies. There you go. This bitch. The lies.
You don't know this man. You don't know Nolan Wells. Giving somebody a haircut, aka rendering a service, doesn't mean that you know somebody. I can go and give Smell the Roses cornrow braids tomorrow. Okay, I know how to do it. Get 3 pieces of hair, twist that shit together, boom, got braids. Do that mean I know her? Do that mean we are acquainted? I can go give OG Patrice a perm right now. A perm. Okay, because I don't know nothing about her. But I can go get her a perm right now. And go get some Mayel and some Cantu and hook her shit up. That don't mean that I know her. That's the first false equivalency that I want to break down for y'all today. He's saying, well, I cut his hair, so I know Nolan. No, false equivalency number 1. Let's keep going.
His games and watch him play all the time. And, and his dad was a football player as well out of Morris Point. He went up to Mississippi State. And so I knew he was going to be a stellar athlete. You know what I'm saying? His dad working with him every day the way he was, everybody that come through his dad's training and stuff like that, all be pretty good athletes, and Nolan wasn't no difference. He was good. He was a great athlete. Had NFL potential, man, had the right size and everything.
You're not talking about shit. You want clout. And let me go tag you. Cutting up with E since you want clout, bitch. Let's go tag you. Cutting. What the nigga name is? Cutting in with E. Somebody find his channel. And let me know what it is. One of y'all got a wrench. Find it. Put it in the description below. We are about to expose him. I'm adding him to the list.
Yeah. So what is it like there? Wait, hold on. Before I get there, do you know the other kids involved? Do you know some of the friends?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead. How do you know them?
Well, with the recent ones that was on like TMZ, I spoke with him Friday night. I know one of the white guys and one of the pictures, where it's quite a few of them, not one of the three on the boat. They were all in a collective group there. And me and his father, we're very good friends. We get up and have lunch about 2 or 3 times a week currently. Listen, man.
You don't know them boys, right? Just because I hang out, like, look, my bad. I'm gonna just show y'all the clip. He don't matter anyway. Y'all heard what he said. Imagine if OG Patrice come to Chicago, hang out with me and my wife, right? We go down to the South Loop, West Loop. We go down to 57th Beach. We go down to Ohio Street Beach. Hey, first of all, if you're ever in Chicago, Ohio Street Beach is the best beach. And my second favorite beach is 57th. But hey, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Imagine us going to the beach, getting drunk together, enjoying Chicago. And then all of a sudden, OG Patrice said, well, because I was hanging out with Darrel, I know his children. That's a false fallacy. I don't know. Sorry, OG Patrice wouldn't know that my son wouldn't be capable of tossing his friends over a goddamn boat because me and her was hanging out, or because she worked out with me. This man, not only does he says a whole bunch of coon racist shit, but he also was throwing out a whole bunch of false fallacies, right? False equivalencies to make it seem, false correlations to make it seem like he has some type of relationship with Nolan to get us to trust the information that he's saying, when in my mind, the only thing you're doing is making Nolan Wells look worse. You're making him look like he was around people who did not love him, like he was around people who would take his life, and then after his life has been taken, right? Y'all not even gonna honor that man and give him the justice that he deserves. Y'all gonna protect the white people because that's what y'all want to do. Good morning, Von Eric. I'm deciding to take my brain away from the manosphere for a while, and we are going after anybody that's attacking Nolan Wells. And I mean anybody. If somebody is attacking Nolan Wells or being a coon online, put their name in this chat, put their name in the comments, and they will be added to the list. That's just the facts. Let's go.
I want to say this to you. I know it's probably not following your questionnaires, but that is a problem that we're having here. There's a lot of blacks right along with a lot of whites that are having this problem. When Ben Crump and Al Sharpton came to our state, I think one thing they did wrong was you can't come down here and start saying that our state is prejudiced. This is
guys, this man that we're looking at right now, right? This is a man from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. He's 46 years old. He is a barber, and he claimed that he gave Nolan Wells his first haircut, right? This is how he is choosing to describe himself on national TV, right? While his community is mourning the death of an 18-year-old, we have the autopsy completely sealed by the state of Mississippi, and this case is now on its way to a grand jury because the judge said, well, he drowned, but nobody knows what happened. So now it has to go to a grand jury because Warren Hudson and other white males are being alleged to kill that boy. Now, again, I want to be careful here because I'm not saying nobody killed Nolan Wells. The case right now is undetermined, and that's what I'm going to say it is, right? I'm not going to call too many people names, but at the end of the day, some of y'all are coons. It is what it is. There's no way, there's no mistake about it. All right. Pause. Go to the comments. Miss Smell the Roses says, my hubby banged blue. I think that means he's a police officer. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I am a lover of the arts too. I dance, act, played in. Oh, you played the clarinet? Cool. And was in gymnastics. I heard of your school through band. Okay. Okay. And that makes sense, right? Like, for those who know me, y'all know that I don't really like light-skinned girls. I don't really be like, I'm not really into that, right? But some of them are very pretty. And I do think that Smell the Roses is one of them. Right. When I go to her channel, I was at her channel, I think a few days ago. She did some video about Tommy Sotomayor and the white boy that Tommy did that interview with back in the day. It was like a year ago now. I think she just been shitting on Tommy. But, outside of that, because that's Tommy business. He's a little piece of shit. But at the end of the day, I watch her channel because I think she pretty. That's just the facts. She has a wife. She has a husband. I have a wife. It is what it is. Right. I'm not gonna hit her up in her inbox trying to fuck. I just appreciate the fact that she come online and she's very soft spoken. I appreciate that. I feel like we need more of that in the Black community. Hey, Almond Eyes, how you doing, beautiful? Let's keep going with this bandit.
Prejudice place. This is the state that lynched and killed Emmett Till. Well, that was 71 years ago, and Emmett Till was killed for looking and whistling at a white woman. These days, it's so many blacks having babies with white people. White men are marrying black women down here. We have so many.
Excuse me? Play Dr. Umar Johnson, please.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Black people are doing what with who? And what does me falling in love with a white woman have to do with Nolan Wells' death? I'm failing to miss the correlation here.
There's a lot of blacks right along with a lot of whites that are having this problem. When Ben Crump and Al Sharpton came to our state, I think one thing they did wrong was you can't come down here and start saying that our state is prejudiced. This is prejudice place. This is the state that lynched and killed.
You talking about Mississippi? You talking about we can't say that Mississippi is racist and prejudice? You talking about the same Mississippi that just had the Confederate flag as their fucking state flag? I remember when I was at Central Michigan University, and that was one of the biggest debates at the time. Mississippi state flag, right? New versus old, right? Let me go ahead and show y'all for those who don't know. For those who don't know what Mississippi state flag used to be and what it is now. Let me go ahead and pull this image offline real quick and pull that up for you ladies and gents. All right, fucking now. Now, if you look very closely on the left, Mississippi adopted this state flag in 1894. You can see that it is the Confederate flag and is basically racist as shit, right? It wasn't until 2021 that Mississippi adopted a new flag with the flower in the middle. It's all cute and cuddly and nice and American. And before, they was representing a group of niggas that lost the war because they wanted to keep niggas slaves.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Thank you. That's the flower called Magnolia. You trying to, OG Patrice, he want to convince us that Mississippi wasn't racist when they had a whole goddamn Confederate flag as your goddamn state flag, boy. What is you cool? Word to Jay Prince. Now, I want you to stay with me, Smell the Roses. I want you to stay with me, OG Patrice, because the way he's going to convince me, Darrel Long, that racism doesn't exist in the state of Mississippi. He's going to convince me because I, as a black man, can put my thingy thing inside of a white woman's thingy thing, and the white man don't hang me by a tree no more, or put me in jail, or do me like they did Emmett Till. Oh my God, that means racism is completely over with. Let's go ahead and go to the footage. Don Lemon reporting, please.
Emmett Till. Well, that was 71 years ago. And Emmett Till was killed for looking and whistling at a white woman. These days, it's so many blacks having babies with white people. White men are marrying black women down here. We have so many sandy brown haired mixed babies running around down here.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Did you just say sandy brown hair babies? Did you just infer that sandy brown hair babies is ending racism? I mean, you literally gotta be fucking kidding me. So again, I have his quotes right here because I do have my notes. At 21 minutes and 8 seconds, he said, "These days, there's so many blacks having babies with white people. We have so many sandy brown hair mixed babies running around down here. We are gumbo. Gumbo."
The lies. There you go. This bitch. The lies.
Now let's break down his argument. His argument was Emmett Till was murdered in 1955 for allegedly whistling at a white woman. The same white woman who died on her deathbed said that Emmett Till didn't do a goddamn thing, but we're gonna just get past that. Today in South Mississippi, however, unlike Emmett Till time, black people and white people are allowed to date, marry, and have children openly together without scrutiny, right? If the punishment for interracial dating was death, and now the act itself carries no punishment at all, then this man is arguing that the racial order that got Emmett Till killed is gone. Therefore, there is no racism no more, right? Therefore, in Nolan Wells' case, with him dating a white woman in Mississippi, right? There will be nobody that will want to seek retribution against him at all.
The lies. There you go. This bitch. The lies.
This is a false argument. The white man has showed his face. Mr. Mitchell McKinnon himself. Good morning, Mitchell. It's been very fun since I doxed you. Had to take that video down, but it was fun. My white adversary says Bud, Mississippi didn't even make slavery illegal until 2013. That shit was still on the books until 2013. It seems like Mr. McKinnon is trying to earn his way into those black people hearts. Unfortunately, Mr. McKinnon, we've seen your kind before, the false ally. But you're right. You're right. Mississippi didn't make slavery illegal until 2013. Fine. White man wins again. We can't even have a conversation to ourselves without our conversation being colonized. But, I'm going to do the American thing and allow you to be here. Let's keep going.
We are a gumbo down here. And another thing, Don, is we are a military community. Mm-hmm. That's how we got here. My dad is originally from Louisiana and my mom's New Orleans. And my dad was military. That's how I got here, through Keishler. And so we have Navy bases here and Air Force bases here. That's what we are. And it's a gumbo. Everybody, white people, try their best to not ruffle the feathers of black people. And black people try their best not to ruffle the feathers of white people for the majority.
Now, we do have a native Mississippian in the chat. And Rooster, I want you to know that the entire state of Mississippi is trash. Period. Y'all trash. Yeah, Rooster, you my mans. But your state, Mississippi, the whole state, trash.
So when Ben Crump come to this town and start saying things like that, he's alienating these people and he's getting pushback now. That's why he's getting all this pushback. And it's going to me, it's hurting the whole entire investigation, which is why he's probably not getting a lot of help from people. To me, that's the deal. You cannot come in here and tell us how racist we are.
First of all, let me both of y'all Mississippians sound stupid right now. Rooster and this man Emmanuel. Rooster says Detroit looked like it's been hit by a bomb. Lord have mercy. Lord, no, it hasn't. Where are you from? Smell the Roses. Is she in she must be on the West Coast or something. She got good skin. Look, let me get to this man argument. So his entire argument rests on the premise that he never really wants to stay out loud. So let me state it for him, right? He's saying that interracial sex is the evidence for racial equality today, right? That's basically the argument. Like if we was going to debate, that would be his premise. Interracial sex is the evidence of racial equality in 2026, right? That premise is backwards, and it's backwards in a way that American history don't really talk about, especially white men. American slavery ran and was one of the biggest proponents of American slavery was coerced sex. I want to make sure I put that word right there to protect my black sisters. Coerced sex between the white slave owner, the white men, and black women for at least 250, 300 years, right? The one drop rule, for those who don't know, that's the entire legal machinery of this racism bullshit that existed because mixing was constant, right? The one drop rule happened because what happened when a slave owner have a baby with a slave? He got one drop of nigga in him, he a nigga. No, that rule is proof that there was genuine racism, if not, embedded in the laws, embedded in the culture, who are the people who made those laws. That is my argument, right? Interracial children were not a sign of racial order because you had interracial children during slavery. You had interracial children during a time where there were sundown towns because black women were coerced into sexual activities with white men. And let me give an example of this, right? Right? Because I know y'all don't like, pedophiles. So let's do this one. Real quick. Gemini, tell me about the founding father. I think it was Thomas Jefferson, and he had a 14-year-old black girl that he was having sex with. Tell me about them real quick.
I can help with all sorts of things, but that requires...
Tell me about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings.
Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings had a decades-long relationship while Hemings was enslaved at Jefferson's estate, Monticello. Hemings was also the half-sister of Jefferson's late wife, Martha Wales Jefferson. Key historical details include the relationship. The relationship began in the late 1780s in Paris, where Hemings accompanied Jefferson's daughter. While in France, Hemings was legally free, but she agreed to return to Virginia after Jefferson promised to free any children they had when they reached age 21. Their children, Hemings gave birth.
What age was Sally Hemings and what age was Thomas Jefferson when they first began their relationship?
When their relationship began in Paris between 1787 and 1789, Sally Hemings was about 14 to 16 years old, and Thomas Jefferson was in his mid-40s, around 44 to 46.
Today, that man will be seen as a creep, a pedophile, somebody who needs to be put on the sex offenders list, Why wasn't that the case during that time?
In the 18th century, social, legal, and racial norms were drastically different. Enslavement and law. Enslaved people were legally classified as property, meaning enslaved women had no legal right to consent and no protection under the law against sexual exploitation by white men.
Damn.
Age norms, age of consent laws were significantly lower or non-existent, and relationships involving mid to late teenage girls were far more common in society. Racial power dynamics. White male authority was absolute in early American society, so white elites rarely faced social or legal consequences for sexually exploiting enslaved black women.
Again, I know y'all niggas from Mississippi don't read. I know y'all niggas from Mississippi don't like books. Brewster, Emmanuel, Officer Tatum, right? But if you do a little bit of research, this country was founded on predators, right? Who prey against the black community for their gain. Mississippi has one of the richest histories when it comes to racism, when it comes to sundown town, when it comes to coercing black women into sexual act and creating little mulatto children. That never stopped racism then. It won't stop racism now. But I'll tell y'all what can't stop racism. We're gonna get into that soon.
Well, these people showing you how they hate you doing that type of stuff in our community, and he's gonna get this type of pushback that he's getting.
Okay, can I jump in here?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, look, I'm from Louisiana, so I know there's lots of mix. I mean, we are all, that's what Creole and mulatto is about. We've been mixing it up. We invented mixing it up in Louisiana, so I understand what you're saying. But that doesn't end racism. Sometimes it heightens it, right? Because then there's a hierarchy, and then there's colorism, and then people say, well, I can't be racist because I'm married to a white person or whatever, or I'm married to a black person, and we know that that's not true. The other thing that sounds like, though, and I just want to put this here, I'm not trying to insult you, is like,
that's Sharon Bracey. I'm not racist to black women because I got a white, foreign, Russian, immigrant wife. But I'm going to talk about Kamala Harris. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. This Sharon Bracey. We're going to talk about Meg Thee Stallion twerking. We're going to talk about how Sexy Red bad for the community, despite my own daughter having multiple baby daddies. And not getting one ring, nothing. Just skeet, skeet, skeet. That's the reality Sharon don't want to acknowledge. Right? That's the hypocrisy that I like to break down. How you got a daughter that's being skeeted in. Now she a baby mama, but you talking shit about Meg Thee Stallion, who don't have no children, who is a businesswoman, who graduated from college, who is not attached to no nigga, because she let a nigga skeet like yo child. That's the problem with the black community. Way too many raccoons. Let's keep going, man.
It kind of sounds like back in the civil rights movement when people would say these outside agitators are coming here and telling us what to do, and we don't want race mixing here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I understand how people may feel, but sometimes I just want you to take this into account. Sometimes it takes, and I'm not saying they're doing this, but just to think about this, sometimes it takes someone who comes from the outside to hold up a mirror so that you can see what's happening. Because sometimes you're too close for the forest to see the trees. All right.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that doesn't exist, that people shouldn't feel that way, but I think that people should have an open mind about it because that's what civil rights leaders did back in the day.
Well,
okay, go on.
We do. I'm for them coming to find justice, but you cannot walk into this town claiming it's racism. All these same state that killed Emmett Till, these racist white people. When that eulogy, I was at the funeral. That eulogy had to be, and just so I'll set it up.
Okay, bro. We see, bro. You got to imagine you dying and a nigga flexing with your obituary. Yeah, cuz I was there, bro. Yeah, bro. I for sure. Yeah, bro. I got the obituary gang. It's right here, gang. Dead Nolan right here, gang. You feel me? You feel me? Now let me tell y'all where they messed up at. Despite our town having a Confederate flag as the state flag, they tried to convince y'all that we racist. Mississippi has never done nothing racist. There wasn't a big event at the school, Ole Miss. Maybe I should cover the situation at Ole Miss, right? Everybody from Mississippi know about it. But if you're not from Mississippi, maybe you don't. There was a big racial situation where some black students decided, you know what? We're going to go to college in Mississippi. We're going to go to Ole Miss. White man said, not today, black boy. Not today.
You know, you can see this is his obituary. So that eulogy had to be the hardest eulogy for Al Sharpton. When you walked in his church and you saw 30% of the church is white. These are his friends. These are all the people he hang out with. Here's what I'm saying, Don. It's like in this generation, it's like we're still charging cases like we're in the 60s when something happens here. I'm not saying a white man did not kill Nolan. What I'm saying is,
well, we don't know that. I'm not going there.
Yeah,
that's not
I'm
what
saying,
I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying it could be over something else. It may be over a girl. Why does race have to lead every time? Why are we leading this investigation with race? Because that's where you're upsetting everybody.
Well, because all the white people was running around telling lies. I think that's why race got involved, right? It's literally one black guy, all white people. So the dynamic of one black guy and all white people is going to interject racism into the scenario. That's just, again, this is why I don't like having conversations with people if it's not going to be a scholastic conversation, because I'm going to go off almost guaranteed because you sound stupid. You sound stupid. Why is this about race, bro? When there was one black and a whole bunch of whites, bro? How did race get into this, bro? Bro?
And it's when you're saying race, when he's been hanging with them same white guys all his life. And
I have an explanation for you about why, possibly. Because when the photographs came out initially, it was just Nolan with all white people, right? Mm-hmm. And he's and so the world, this is not just Ben Crump. The family asked Ben Crump to come in. It's not like he volunteered to do this, okay? Mm-hmm. So, and not that I'm defending Ben Crump. I'm just sort of explaining to you why why people think race is involved or why it's involved. First of all, let's just be honest, Emmanuel. We know the history of the country. We do know the history of Mississippi. And one of the best indicators of what the present is and possibly the future is the history, right? Of something, the history of your medical thing. You heard Al Sharpton say that at the funeral.
And I know black men understand this, all the black raccoons like Anton, because the first thing he gonna say is, well, how you know she a good woman? And he gonna ask about her history. How many men has she slept with, right? How many babies do she have out of wedlock? So it's important to know about the history of a baby mama, but it's not important to know about the history of Mississippi and why that may play a role into the situation that happened with Nolan Wells. I mean, let's just act like their racist history don't matter at all. Not one bit. They're just nice folks out there in the boat, and the black boy couldn't swim. Fuck out of here. OG Patrice says they're still treating black people like in the 60s when it comes to prison, criminal justice, and child economic opportunities. Child, the 60s. That's why I couldn't live in Mississippi. I'd rather go to hell and live with the devil than live in Mississippi. Ain't no way. I feel like Chris Brown. Ain't no way. I am going to Mississippi. I'm not going to Mississippi. Ain't no way.
When you go into the doctor and you say, this hurts, or I have this ailment, and they go, what medication are you taking? What's your family's medical history? Okay, so you have that history in Mississippi. Not everybody lives in Mississippi. And so the people who are on the internet, the people who don't live in Mississippi, they see a black guy with all white guys and they go, oh, he's the only one that didn't come home. The history of Mississippi, blah, blah, blah. So people start putting 2 and 2 together, and that's why race is involved in this, because that is the history of America. Now, whether race played a role in his demise, no one knows it. No one knows that, but there is no denying that race plays a part in this case simply because of the optics. That's where the race part came in. That may be offensive to some people there, but the truth is often offensive. That is the reality in America. Yeah, yes, sir. You can ask me. We're here to have a conversation.
Okay. When Emmett Till was killed in 1955, I believe it was, he died for whistling and simply looking at a white woman. Now,
oh my fucking God. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. This is triggering. As a black man, we're about to use 2 dead. Sorry, I hope my mic is not too loud. Yep, it was. Fuck. We're about to use 2 dead black boys to make a point. So first we're using Nolan Wells. Now we're using Emmett Till. Well, Emmett Till was murdered for fucking with a white woman for whistling at her. And now I can put my dick in white women and nothing gonna happen to me. Oh my God. Racism over with. Capiche is gone. Think of the past. Ancient, okay? It's gone. Simply because I can put my thing inside of a white woman. You can't make this shit up. Even if I wanted to make this shit up, I couldn't. Even if I wanted to make this shit up, I couldn't. Y'all like my camera change? I got so many cameras in here. I just like, fuck it. Let me turn on the second camera just because. Even if I wanted to make this up, I couldn't. And my wife is right. Mississippi got raccoons trained from birth. And Mills said, kiss the babies for me. I definitely will. And Mills, you have my word, my lady. Okay? Let's go back to this video. I can't believe these raccoons.
Yeah, went from there to making babies with these white women. When does that go out of the window for, as you know, this racial component of Mississippi history years ago? How can we accept that history when it comes to
you can accept it by acknowledging the problem. You accept it by acknowledging the problem and acknowledging the reality of the history of the country. You accept it by saying, I understand why people think race is involved. I understand why. I
understand why people do it, but what I'm saying is it a fair assessment for us? Of
course, it's a fair assessment.
We have nothing but a bunch of. We have nothing but mixed kids running around down here.
But just because you have mixed kids.
Child, this man's argument is we got nothing but mixed children around here. So racism is done. He's not talking about systemic racism. He's not talking about none of that. None of that. Right? It's all about sex with him. He thinks that because you can get inside of a white woman's vagina, and let me say this right now, because the black woman is God, and I defend the black woman all day, but every now and then I sent for other races of women too. You are disrespectful little NIGGA, because to just sexualize the white woman's vagina and make it seem like the moment you go through that gateway that is the white woman's vagina, you're now a free black man. You are no longer scrutinized by the white society. You're no longer oppressed by the small hat community. You're going to get the same amount of justice as a white man. You're going to get the same textbooks that somebody at Harvard would get. You're going to get the same bank loans and opportunities that a white man will have. once and only once you go through the white woman's vagina. And this is like the precipice of dumb nigga thinking and dumb nigga conversations that we have now began to entertain on YouTube. I would have dropped this nigga so fast. You're not talking about police brutality. You're not talking about medical bias against black women. You're not talking about redlining. You're not talking about the wealth gap, right? Actual proponents of racism, right? You're not talking about racism and Christianity. It's the reason why, Malcolm X used to say the most divided day was Sunday at high noon, when white people were at white church and black people was at black church. Both praised Jesus Christ. Both love Jesus Christ. Both praise the Bible. Both read the Bible from Genesis to Revelations. But racism divided even God's people. Child. Play Kevin Samuels.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
You know what? Let's keep going. I'm gonna get to the comments in a second, y'all.
Just because you have mixed kids, it doesn't mean that you're not racist.
But Don,
it doesn't mean that
dying now. Back then they died for looking at her. Now we're sleeping with them and having kids and nobody's dying.
One thing. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Emmanuel. Do you know why Nolan died or how?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right.
So I'm for an investigation. That's why I said I'm for Al and them coming here and investigating. But Don, what I'm saying is I don't think he should have led with this strong racial, the same people who killed Emmett Till. And I mean, that was almost 100 years ago, and we're now sleeping with white women, and white men are now sleeping with black women.
Go ahead and play Dr. Umar Johnson immediately.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Nope. Dr. Umar Johnson again.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Racism don't exist, bro. Bro, it's done. What you mean, my nigga? How racism done? Nigga, I just bust down a white woman. Nigga, I just bust down a white woman. It's over with, nigga. Racism done. Wrap that shit up, B. Put a fork in it, nigga. It's done. So the only thing that happened is she let you fuck. The white woman let you fuck. And you're saying that because the white woman let you fuck, that racism is done? Yeah, my nigga. That's exactly what I'm saying. No more being hosed down by police officers. No more kids being killed because of their color. No more discrimination. Because she let you fuck? No. I let her fuck. She didn't let me fuck. I let her fuck. Yeah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This is the reason why black women look at black men like they don't got no goddamn common sense. And the only thing you can do is what OG Patrice doing right now and what my wife doing, laughing in the chat, laughing at black men. Imagine if we at war, right? We at war with the Wakandans. The Wakandans are enslaving us. And I come back to my people and say, guess what, guys? The war is over with. What you mean, Darrel? I just saved our people. What happened? Did you take out the army? No. Did you kill the general? No. Did you secure us any food or land, anything? No. So how did you win the war? I fucked one of the princesses. That's how. This is why we need to spend more time with black boys in school. We need to teach critical thinking. We need to teach history lessons, right? This needs to be archived so future black boys can learn what not to think like, what not to be like. We need to ban the state of Mississippi from teaching black boys any goddamn thing. Mississippi is purposely miseducating black children. We must boycott against the state of Mississippi immediately.
Babies with these people, man. I mean,
but that doesn't mean that racism. I think that your idea of what racism isn't necessarily calling people the N-word or beating them up. It is a system that is based on superiority and history and present and sometimes people who are in relationships.
Don, you know, one thing I hate is when a smart nigga try to talk to a dumb nigga. Look what Don just said. You're not talking about president and history and all the smart shit. He only care about white woman pussy. To him, as long as he get white woman pussy, slavery is over with. The white man not beating his ass over white woman vagina, then he cool. He don't care that the white man is building skyscrapers. He don't want to own a skyscraper. He don't care that the white man turned a pile of fucking dust into Chicago, into New York City, right? Remember at one point in time, New York City wasn't shit. Next thing you know, skyscrapers everywhere. Next thing you know, buildings everywhere. Next thing you know, $5,000 apartments are every fucking where, right? Meanwhile, these niggas don't got two motherfucking pennies to rub together, looking like Victor ass down there in Mississippi, playing the fucking harmonica. Playing the harmonica. Right? Playing the harmonica with nothing but the white woman coochie to make them feel better. Go ahead and play Kevin Samuels one more time. This is ridiculous.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
What's up with the super chats? Only person that sent anything that looked closely like a donation is Smell the Roses. Play the Sharon Bracey clip.
For clout. That is the solution to this. The solution, Ed, is for you to send a goddamn 99-cent super sticker. So this way I don't have to go to Brokeback Mountain. That shit crazy. The problem is that we are not supporting great productive entertainment. We only
Sharon still got that problem. All right, let's go ahead, man. I can't be here for forever, man. I've been here for an hour already. So y'all basically owe me $50. If I don't get my $50 in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to do y'all like Sharon Bracey did, y'all. I'm going to end the stream, go in there and kiss my wife, take a shower, eat some food, and take my ass to Chicago and go make some money on Lyft. I'm just telling you, listen, I'm being honest with y'all.
With people of a different ethnicity or a different background, they still have not dealt with racial issues. And sometimes, sometimes the love for people of a different ethnicity is a similar love, especially for blacks and whites, all right? Especially of a certain generation. It's the same sort of love that you have for a pet, where you are, I'm serious, where you love them, you protect them, you pay for everything, but it doesn't mean it's the same love that you have for a human being. It's kind of that, okay, I understand that. In America, the reason that we have this is because we don't deal in a fulsome way with race. We're not honest about it. And we think that racism is something where it is overt. It's not always overt. And there are people who came up through the civil rights movement and people who were discriminated against, they're still here. And the people who were part of the Klan, there's a huge Ku Klux Klan contingent in this country. There are people who are part of the Proud Boys who said that they're racist. There are people part of the new neo-Nazis. They say they are racist and they are open with it. So, and a lot of that comes from the South, from Louisiana where I am, and from Mississippi. And if you go there, if you know, if I can drive 5 minutes from where you are and find a person who's involved in one of those groups.
It's Mississippi. Of course you can find someone that's involved in one of those racist groups. Let me read some of these comments before we get out of here, man. White people can be in relationships, marry, have children with blacks, and still be racist while saying, I have my white friends. I have white children. I don't see color. Child. He make niggas from the southern states show how bad the education system is. Child. She frying y'all niggas, Rooster. Do something about this. Rooster says you better believe the most males in the state of Mississippi don't need help from any of the males outside the state. LOL. Most Mississippi males can go to any state and thrive. Okay, Rooster. I can play the harmonica because I don't have y'all struggles. Okay, Rooster. Dawn, his teacher, couldn't even damn, his teacher couldn't even educate him. No, this man is lost. There's a lot of northern people who are going to like, this is a Mississippian, y'all. Let's read it word for word. There's a lot of northern people who are going to end of fried or fired people. Listen, I can't even read now. Listen, I feel like Victor trying to read this shit. There's a lot of northern people who are going to end of fired trying to be white adjacent while playing the black card LOL up. What the fuck does that mean? Oh my God. Only Mississippians can read Mississippi slang. He says, if you are the smart one, you can figure it out. Imagine a nigga telling you a sentence and then telling you that you got to figure out what that sentence means because he hasn't properly conveyed what the fuck he was trying to say. On that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Shout out to all Mississippians. All right, shout out to all Mississippians. It's ridiculous. Why haven't we heard from David Banner? He's from Jackson, Mississippi. Child, let me go ahead and start that one. We're going to have to cover that. Leia, come here. Want to say hi to everybody? Yep. Before we go, say hi.
Hi.
Say, my name is Leia.
My name is Anna.
Say hi, OG.
Hi, OC.
And say hi, Victor.
Hi, Victor.
And say bad Mississippi.
Bad Mississippi.
Right.
I'll use my nice.
Say we about to go.
We're about to go.
And we about to go to the city.
And we're about to go to the city.
All right. Give me a kiss. We out of here, y'all. Bye.